So one thing I did forget to mention earlier is you want to check to see whether or not the patient agreed to do the digital retinal imaging or the Optimat. Now, if it's a new patient or if it's a patient that hasn't been here in a while, they will most likely have filled out a HIPAA form at the front desk. On that HIPAA form, they will have indicated whether or not they'd like to do the optional digital retinal imaging. But if they have not filled out the HIPAA, if they're an established patient that was recently here and they did not need to fill one out, you will just ask them, as you're asking them about dilation, whether or not they'd like to do the optional digital retinal imaging. Now, when you do ask them that, you have to explain to them what it is. And the best way to explain to them what the optional digital retinal imaging is that it's an instrument that takes a picture of the back of the eye, offering Dr. Ritchie the most comprehensive view of the back of the eye than some of the more traditional methods. It allows him to check for anything from macular degeneration, retinal tears, glaucoma, cataracts, cancers, anything that might be of concern. However, it is an additional $20 fee, not covered by insurance as of yet, so it would be up to you as to whether or not you'd like to do it. Once you've explained that to them, they will let you know whether or not they'd like to do it, at which point you will indicate on their chart, on their fee sheet, under Optos, whether or not they'd like to do it or not. This patient has indicated that they would like to do it, so you would indicate yes. Now we are ready for the instruments. So I'm going to go ahead and close the curtain. Thank you. Okay. And you're going to cut off the light. Oh. That doesn't help, does it? Okay, so under normal conditions you would turn off the light at this point. Okay, so now you get the patient situated, you let them know, Mrs. Test, the very first instrument we're going to do is the one all the way on your right. This is the eye puff test. Okay, and I'm just going to get this adjusted. Okay, if you will, go ahead and place your forehead all the way against the pad. Keep both eyes wide open. I'm just going to bring this down a little bit more. Alright now. So in just a moment you're going to see 4 red lights with a green light in the center. Let me know if you see it. And bring your forehead up just a little bit. Go ahead and bring your forehead up just a little bit more. So once the patient is situated, they're going to be able to see 4 red lights with a green light in the center, at which point you know that their eye is in the position that it needs to be. Once it's in that position, you're going to want to click on this button on the screen. Right on here, this is the button that you'll want to click. When you click this button, it's going to blow 1 puff of air in their right eye. So you'll let them know, in just a moment, ma'am, you're going to get a small puff of air in your right eye. And then you can go and sit back, Linda. I'm not really going to blow it in your eye. Okay. So, once we've blown the air into the eye, we go ahead and move the pad over, ask them to go ahead and look forward once again with their forehead all the way against the pad. Make sure they can see the 4 red lights with the green light in the center, and you will do it one more time. Once you have a recording of the numbers, you will enter that into here under Tonometry Pretest. You would click on IOP, select the instrument you're using, which is NCT, and enter in the numbers. For right eye, which is OD, and for left eye, which is OS. Then you would select the date and time, and then click back on Pretest Exam. Now, if a patient gets pressure numbers that are above 20 in each eye, you will want to redo the test one more time in each eye, and if they're still getting a high number, you will select this eyeball button with a 3 next to it, and that